Okay, so if we're working on a Venn diagram here I've given you the three circles. We're going to go ahead and name these as B for backup cam, K for keyless entry, and C for CarPlay. Okay, when we're building these, we're going to build from the inside out. So for example, we're going to start with the 43 that chose all three of the features for the car. And then from there, we're going to go to the ones that have an intersection of two things. So for example, keyless and backup are going to be the top two circles. We don't just write a 64 here because the keyless and the backup also includes the 43 that's here in the center. So for us to figure out how many are left over, we have to subtract. So we're going to get 64 minus 43 is 21. So right here, you don't just put the 64, you have to remember that the 43 have already been counted. Now, if I add up the 21 plus the 43, it does equal the 64 that like both keyless and backup cam. Okay, let's go do the same thing for the CarPlay and backup cam. So CarPlay and backup cam, we're looking at a total of 61, but 43 have already been counted. So again, we have to subtract in order to get this one. And then that's the point of intersection there. All right, finally, it says 55 want keyless and CarPlay. So for keyless and CarPlay of 55, we have to subtract the 43 from the middle that are already being counted. And that's how we get the 12 that are right there. So far, we had to remember to subtract for those little sections or wedges of intersection. Now let's go up and look at the 90 CarPlay, 97 keyless entry, and 113 backup cam. We are not just writing the numbers right here, because these numbers include all of the other numbers that are already written. So we have to do some more subtractions. So for this one right here, it's 113 backup cam, but you have to subtract the 21 that have already been counted, the 43 that have already been counted, and the 18 that have already been counted. So let me grab calculator and do that subtraction. So 113 minus 21 minus 43 minus 18. I'm getting 31 that wanted backup cam only. All right, let's go do the keyless. Keyless is a total of 97, but we have to subtract the 21 and the 43 and the 12 that are already being counted. So 97 minus 21 minus 43 minus 12. You should have got a 21 there. And last but not least, we have that there are 90 CarPlay, but it's not just 90 right here. We have to subtract the 18 and the 43 and the 12 that are already being counted. So here I go in a calculator, 90 minus 18 minus 43 minus 12, and that leaves me 17. So now that the Venn diagram is filled in, we go up to look and see if they told us how many students. And notice that in this example up here, they didn't, but this is the homework problem from your recent homework, the 4-4 practice. And it did tell you in the homework that there were 300 students. So we always want to count and see, is this totaling 300? What numbers need to total 300? It needs to be the 31, the 21, this 43, this 18, this 12, and this 17. So we're going to add these all up. And let's see what we get. 31 plus 21 plus 21 plus 43 plus 18 plus 12 plus 17. That's only 163, and there were 300 total that were polled. So we have to subtract the 163 from the 300, and that leaves us 137 students. That number, if there are leftovers, needs to go outside the diagram because these are students that chose none of the features. And so this number is important for you to have on the outside of the diagram if the number adds up in your diagram to a number different than what you were told in the problem that was polled. Okay? So now we can ask questions about this. For example, what's the probability that they liked the backup camera only? That would be this 31 number. All of these outside numbers are the only numbers because all of the intersections represent more than one feature. So if they said, what's the probability of backup camera only? You would say that it was 31 out of 300. You then get me a decimal and a percent of all of these. So that would be 0.103 or 10.3%. You can round for that one. So again, whatever probability they're asking for now, it's going to be over 300 because that's how many were polled. What was the probability that someone chose all three? Well, that's your middle intersection of 43. I get a 0.143 or 14.3% when I move the decimal twice. Finally, they might ask you, what is the intersection or what is the probability that they like CarPlay and backup cam? So you go up here and look, CarPlay and backup cam is this entire wedge right here. Even though the middle intersection includes 43 that like all three, we still count that as liking both CarPlay and backup cam. So this 18 plus 43 wedge is the number we need. And so 61 people like. So here I go. 61 divided by 300. All right, what if I said what's the probability of CarPlay and backup, but not keyless entry? This now is eliminating it, saying not all three. So CarPlay and backup, we don't take the 18 and the 43 this time. We just take the 18 because it said not CarPlay. Taking the calculator and dividing. All right. Hope that helps you get warmed up so that you are ready for the test, the quiz.